Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be showing you all how to crochet these head wraps here. As you can see what's down on my head. So just stay, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So these are the tools you'll be needing. We're going to first start by making a magic ring or a magic circle. You're going to go under and then pull. And I just do like a little twist. And you're going to have your working yarn away from you. And then we're going to start by chaining 4. Once you chain your 4, this does not count as a stitch. You're just going to yarn over. And then that's when you're going to start doing your double crochets. So you're going to double crochet. And for every double crochet, you are going to chain 1 right after. So that's double crochet. I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to go back into the circle and double crochet again. And then chain 1. And you're going to do this for a total of 8. So I'm double crocheting, pull through 2, pulling, pull through 2, and then I'm chaining 1. And I'll show you all one more time. You're going to go into your circle, you'll pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then you're going to chain 1, and I'm going to complete the circle off camera. So again, you want to make sure you have a total of 8 double crochets and chain 1 spaces. So you're just going to do a slip stitch into that chain 4 to complete your round. And then you're going to begin the next round by chaining 4. So you're going to always slip stitch at the end, and then you'll chain 4 beginning the next round. Do take your time doing this because it's the first row, it gets kind of tricky, pulling through the yarn. So you're going to yarn over. So what you're going to do is now you're going to double the round to expand it out. And you're going to do 2 double crochets and a chain for each space, which will give you a total of 16 double crochets and 16 chain 1 spaces. So you'll yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then chain 1. Go back into the round, you'll do your double crochet and chain 1. Remember, the key is to get those spaces, you have to chain 1 after each double crochet. So you just do that in each space. You're going to do 2 double crochets and 2 chain 1s for each a chain 1 for each double crochet. So it's 2 double crochets and 2 chain 1s for each space. So I'll continue to do this, and then I'll come back to you all once I've completed the round. So you're going to slip stitch to close it out, and then again you're going to chain 4. So for the third round, you're now going to, again, you're going to keep increasing. So this first space that I'm showing here is just 1 space. So that's where you're going to do your single space. This is a V-stitch. So it's alternating between a single space and a V-stitch. This is what I'm showing you all. So the first space, you're just going to do 1 double crochet and 1 chain. And since that next space, or the next one is a V-stitch, which is basically just 2 double crochets. So that's where you're going to increase. You increase in V-stitches by basically doing a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And then the next space is just going to be a single space, so you'll do 1 double crochet and then a chain. And that in this third round, you're just alternating between 1 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1 for each double crochet until you complete the round. So this is how it looks. I've already chained my 4, so now you see it's increased. So I have the V-stitch right there, but I have 2 single spaces prior to. So it's going to be a single space, V-stitch, single space, V-stitch. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to do my double crochet and then chain 1 and just that space by itself, and then I'm going to yarn over again, and then the next space you're going to do your double crochet, chain 1, and now you're at the V-stitch. So this is where you're going to increase. You're going to do a double crochet, chain 1, yarn over, double crochet, chain 1. The next space is going to be a single space, so you're going to just do 1 double crochet in a chain, and then the space after that is 1 double crochet in a chain. So for this row you are basically doing 2 single double crochets with a chain, and then you're going to increase on the third one by doing 2 double crochets in a chain. So your V stitches is where you increase, you're expanding your circle basically, or the base of your head wrap. So this one is a V-stitch, so I'm going to double crochet, I'm going to chain 1, yarn over, double crochet, chain 1, and that's going to complete this round. So this is how this round looks completed. So I'm going to do my 5th and final round. And so now you see there's 3 spaces where you're going to do your single crochet in your chain. So this stitch here, you see this is the V-stitch. So for this round, it's going to be 3 single crochets with a chain, and then that 4th one is where you're going to do increase and do your double crochets, your 2 double crochets and a chain for each double crochet. So I'm doing my single double crochet for the first space, the second space plus my chain, then the third space, and then it's going to be that 4th one where you're going to do your V-stitch and you're going to increase the round. Now this is where I actually stopped for my head wrap. I just did 5 rows of increases, and then that's when I began working my sides to do the elongating the head wrap basically. If you're needing to make it bigger, you're just going to repeat what we've already done, and you're going to do your single crochets in those spaces, and then in those V stitches is where you're going to do your increase. So this round, you see there's 4 now. However, I don't expand the round. I just started to do my sides at this point. But if you needed to, you would just do the exact same thing we've already done for the previous rows. You'll do your single crochets and then your V stitches to increase. So what I'm going to do now to begin my sides, I'm going to just double crochet into the actual stitch. And then of course you're going to chain 1. Whenever you double crochet, you are chaining 1. That is how you get the space. So I'm going into the actual hole. You see right there, I'm going in to the stitch of the previous double crochet from the previous row, and I'm chaining my 1. And you're just going to pretty much do that to complete your rounds. Of course, you're going to slip stitch at the end of the row, and you're going to chain your 4, and you'll just keep doing that until you get the length that you desire. I end up doing it for a total of 21 rows. So for rows 6 through 21, I'm just doing a double crochet and a chain 1 into each stitch. And so that's where I'm showing right there is where you're going to do your slip stitch. This is how it started to look after just the first row. After completing row 6, I'm going to slip stitch and then chain my 4 and repeat doing the exact same thing. I'm just going to do a double crochet and a chain for each stitch for rows 6 through 21. And then shortly you're going to see the progress that I've made and how it started to format the head wrap. Again, you're going into the actual space stitch to do your double crochet, not in the chain space. So it's kind of like creating a mesh stitch in a sense, because you're going to actually double crochet into the actual stitch instead of the space. And you'll just keep doing that. So this is how this one looked for the 21 rows, where you just double crochet into each stitch to elongate it. Again, you can keep going for like more rows to make it longer. This is my progress that I've made. I think at that point I had reached about like 10 rows or more, probably more than 10 rows. So I just wanted to show you all, and this is how she was completed. So now we're going to get into doing our straps. So I'm going to slip stitch to complete it. And then I'm going to cut off my yarn and just fasten that off. So we're going to put that to the side, and now you're just going to chain 90 chains. This is going to be our strap for our head wrap. So you'll just chain 90. I'm just showing me chaining a few of them, but I'm going to go off camera to complete it. So these are my 90. So what we're going to do to connect it to our head wrap. So this is the seam where you see I didn't cut off the yarn when I fastened it off, just so you can see the seam. And so what I basically did was just, instead of counting the stitches, I did 4 spaces from where the seam was on each side, so where I'm going to have my straps be for my head wrap. So I counted over to the other side. I'm going to put my stitch marker. This will help make so that way you are keeping track of where to end off at. And so you see in between, it's a total of 8 spaces that you'll leave open just so you can have space like in the back of your head when you put your head wrap on. So I yarned over because you're going to do a half double crochet into this stitch where you put your stitch marker, so you can begin doing like the border of the head wrap. So I went into the actual stitch, and I'm going to just pull the yarn over and pull through all 3 loops because we are doing half double crochets. So I'm going to yarn over, and again, you're only going into the stitch for that one. Now moving forward, you're going to just do 2 half double crochets into each space. So you're not going to go inside any stitches. You're just going to do it in the space, the little square space. So it's going to be 2 half double crochets for each square space until you reach the stitch marker on the other side, where you will then begin completing your straps for the other side of your head wrap. So I'm just showing you all a few stitches that I'm doing here in the space. So I'm on the other side, I'm going to do my last 2 half double crochets into the space. On this side, you don't go into the actual stitch. I just put the stitch marker there so I know where to stop. So now what we're going to do is, once I get this yarn through, you can get rid of your stitch marker because you won't need that anymore. You're just going to chain 92. Now on the other one, you chain 90. For this one, we're going to chain 92 because we're going to, we're just basically chaining 2 extra stitches because we're going to be doing half double crochet. So I'm chaining a little bit, and then I'll get to the end where I'll show you all me adding my extra 2. So now you're going to yarn over, and you did this, you chained the 2 extras because you're going to go into the 3rd stitch from your hook and to do your half double crochet, which will then give you 90 half double crochets for your strap like you did on the other side. So you're basically just doing half double crochets through all of those little chains. I just do one little piece of the yarn. I don't go through both loops, or I got one loop of the yarn. You can, if you want a more seamless look, go through the back loops. I didn't do that because it's a lot more tedious that way. I just go through one little loop and just do my half double crochet, and you'll do that until you get to the top of your head wrap. So this is how the strap looks. One of them is completed. And so now what you're going to do is you're just going to do a single crochet into the border, basically, into each stitch. Those 2 stitches that you did in those spaces, you're just going to do a single crochet until you reach the other side of the beginning of your strap from the other side of your head wrap. I hope this is all making sense for you all. So I'm just going to show you me doing a few single crochets, but you're just going to do that until you reach the end and the start of your strap, and then you're close to being done. All right, so I just have just showing you all the border. I have one more left that I'm going to go in to do the single crochet, and then we're going to start working our half double crochets into our strap to create our strap. Okay, so I'm just finding a little loop, going through there. Of course, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3, and you're just going to pretty much do that till you get to the end of your strap, and that's going to complete your head wrap. You're going to, of course, fasten off, cut your yarn, and you will get a darning needle to weave in any of your loose ends, and that pretty much will complete your head wrap. I'm just showing you all me doing the double crochets on a few more of the stitches, and shortly you will see how she looks completed. So this is how she turned out. I hope you guys were able to follow along. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this tutorial was beneficial to you. If you have any questions at all, just let me know in the comment section and I'll respond, and I'll try to help you the best as I can. I try to be very detailed in this video, and also put the instructions or the pattern, I guess you would say, on the screen as well, so you can see that if you need to read it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.